Welcome to the podcast of Terrace Consulting.
Hello and welcome to another episode of the podcast. We have a very special guest today, the most senior F&B person that I've managed to get into the show, Fabio Petrone. Good afternoon. How are you?
Good afternoon. Very well. Thank you very much for inviting me to your podcast. Very honored to be here.
Thank you. My pleasure. So Fabio, we're discussing now about his career. He's going to share with you now. He's been working in F&B for around 20 years, almost everywhere in the world. He's been in the Emirates, Italy, Oman, Turkey, the Caribbean, and now in Egypt, yes. Directing the F&B operations of a large local chain. And I'd like to, as usual, start from the beginning. So where did you start? How did you get into the F&B world?
Well, I graduated from university in Italy, is a special university in Assisi, which is in Perugia, tourism management. I did there a course for 4 years. And then I thought to myself, well, what to do? Next step, big question. So I said, let me learn English, do the fact in English and international language. Therefore, I took a plane. I went to UK. I say to my family, well, I'm going to do a few months, learn English, and I'll stay 5 years. London is a great opportunity for hotelier, for life, and obviously for food and beverage. So I managed to work at the Grosvenor House, Park Lane. Massive experience. I used to be a restaurant general manager in an Italian restaurant called La Terrazza with a great chef. This is back in the history. So after that, obviously, I'm summarized. Otherwise, we had taken so long. After that, I went to Dubai and I worked for Jumeirah Beach Hotel. Again, also restaurant general manager in Italian restaurant, the number 2 in Dubai. My competition was Bija at the time, but Bija was a kind of single owned, so slightly similar. And then I worked there a couple of years. Great experience in Dubai. Obviously, Jumeirah Beach, 690 room, 29 villas, iconic opposite the Burj Al Arab. Mm-hmm. You meet all these celebrity every night, quite busy place. And then after that, I moved in an assistant F&B position. I went in Oman, a short experience at the Sheraton. Then I left and I get the call of my life, Four Seasons. So I joined Four Seasons. I need to step down a position, a restaurant GM again, and Four Seasons Sharm el-Sheikh. Did a couple of years. I did very well. The regional VP picked me up for opening Four Seasons Istanbul. So impressive experience. Do an opening really, really enlighten you and really expose you and tremendously in our job. And obviously food and beverage, but I would say for any field in the hotel.
Mm-hmm. Which is by the Strait, close to the bridge, the Four Seasons in Istanbul.
Yes,
and then from
mm-hmm. And then I did Four Seasons. Then Four Seasons was some reshuffling, some challenge. So I left and I work my first appointment, director of food and beverage. Well, in Four Seasons, I get promoted from restaurant GM to restaurants director, and then a kind of assistant operation. And then I left in Anguilla, beautiful hotel, cuisine, art, golf, resort, and spa. So my first appointment as a director of food and beverage in the Caribbean. I stayed there almost 4 years. Wonderful experience, great people, great place. Obviously, very, very interesting in terms of different, completely different than Middle East and Turkey. Mm-hmm. Excellent experience. There you need to manage and understand, the planning, 6 months, 8 months in terms of order, purchasing.
It's a very small island, right, Anguilla?
Yes, 10,000 people only. I always say I call big family. Everybody knows where you are, what you do. They know your car number is only 3 numbers. The car, Fabio's there, Fabio's here. Again, it was great experience. In the meantime, during my experience, we opened 2 restaurants. One Japanese, the best one in the island, and one Italian. The owners was very keen to flew in top chef. So we get 1 Japanese chef. And then we got also 1 Italian chef, which is really kind of trattoria food, handmade and everything. It was a great experience. After that, 4 years, I got a call from a friend, British Virgin Island, Little Dix. So went director of F&B in Little Dix. Worked 1.5 years. There was some challenge there. The property, Rosewood want to close the hotel renovation. So all the director executive need to leave. So I left before, I always open umbrella before the rain. I left before the opening. And then I went to work in Oman at the Cherry. 2 years at the Cherry, again, director of F&B, in charge of the operation, helping the GM, assisting. However, regardless, the title was amazing experience. I met all, the royal family. The Cherry used to be, and in my humble opinion, it is the place to be, the most expensive hotel in Oman, top product. I managed to import their organic rucola, buffalo mozzarella, especially Italian flour. I mean, the general manager was really kind of, give me the green lights on many things, many specialty items that you can find only there, unique.
Wow.
Pasteurized Japanese beer, special Japanese whiskey, I mean, amazing. And I was impressed with the clientele, lots of CEO, lots of people being around. And then after Chedi, after a couple of years, my visa was not renewed because of the Omanization. They have a new program now. Lots of money study at the university, so they really go to Swiss and study. The government support them, so which is quite understandable. And I was done 2 years of my life. I was managing $70 million budget. Food and beverage was really extensive. Wow. After that, I get another call, and I went back to Caribbean island.
Caribbean, Barbados, yeah.
Yes. Well, I couldn't say no to Sandy Lane. I mean. One of the most luxurious, I would say, historically place, is a small castle. It's again, top VIP, very high-end place. It's a kind of club, I would say. All the rich and famous British and American, I met them there, you name it, lots of famous people. I cannot say for confidentiality, however.
Of course, yeah.
Christmas time there, I couldn't believe it. I said, wow, you look as you in the movie theater, And again, it was a great experience. I did 1 year there, some family schooling, obviously was not really a small island again. And you reach a certain time of your life that you need to also think and focus on your family, right? So then I moved back to, exactly. Then I moved back to my second home in Egypt. And then I thought, let's explore the market. And then, luckily in destiny, God was with me, and I got a great opportunity at JAZ. Now I'm working for JAZ, which is a local and the biggest local company, an hospitality company.
You were telling me, I didn't know what the company. You're telling me they have 58 hotels in Egypt, 3, 4, and 5-star luxury hotels.
Exactly. So, it's a wonderful, the 5-star luxury with beautiful property. Obviously, some of them are the bed and breakfast, some of them are all inclusive. But we are again here to cater for all our clients that we try to match and their needs. Beautiful location. We have one of the best is the North Coast. It's in Alexandria, which the North Coast is the place to be in the summer. And if you really, Rolls Royce, Ferrari, I mean, it's amazing. The top clientele is there. So I was blessed to work this summer there, July and August. Amazing and really white sand beaches and wonderful coral. Beautiful experience. So that's in summary, Fabio, hospitality life.
So it's so I said in the beginning, in the opening, loads of different destinations, a lot of experience in the Middle East, the other half in the Caribbean, different islands, always luxury, top luxury resorts. Any favorite destination you will say, well, that's really amazing? I mean, you mentioned a few, but can you pick one?
Yes, in terms of life balance and geographic location, Oman is one of the best. It's super safe, super clean. The people are extremely friendly, and every corner is a police agent willing to help you, despite sometimes the language barrier. I do not speak Arabic very well. However, when you're polite and asking, they will assist you. They will bring you there. It's amazing. The hospitality that I went through there, I was really impressed. So that's also good for a family because it's very calm. And I always say when people ask me, "Oh, what you suggest?" I've been here, been there. Well, I say depends on on what you need. If you want to have a movida, for sure it's not Oman. If you want to have a nice life, work, and your family, your schooling, your kids, Oman is perfect. So I think if I could pick, Oman definitely is the place to thumbs up.
All right, brilliant. Well noted. Yeah, I mean, I've been in the country several times for work. Yeah, it is true. I have a friend who used to live there, and he mentioned very similar something to you. He had kids in there, and he was
also our job. Wherever you go, you need to take the best of it and share with the team and the people your knowledge and blend together with the culture. Our job, especially when international travel, you need to embrace the culture and you discover, and a special plate for Oman. When you go to Caribbean, hey, how to do the special tea, the bush tea, and discover not only food and beverage cuisine, also the culture of people, how they're living, what they thought, what, the background. That's the beauty of our life. At least if you're hotelier, you maximize, everything.
Exactly, the experiences. So your current role is saying Group Director of F&B for JAZ Hotels, 58 hotels in Egypt. What did you enjoy the most out of the current role? Because it's overseeing loads of operations.
Yeah, it's a massive role, and I'm very blessed that I overview all this beautiful property. Well, what I enjoy is very dynamic. For sure, every day is a different day, and you never get kind of bored, or it's always an action plan, and always something to do it, to double check, to create, to implement a new project. Gin and tonic trolley to implement some, sangria in the morning, non-alcoholic beverages, and everything you name it is a really really large spectrum, and you
Mhm.
can really give space to your creativity. Obviously with a team, and you give it the idea, and then you discuss as a team, you blend it, implement it, and follow up. So that's in
Mhm.
a summary the group director food and beverage.
Mhm. Coordinating
You
all
know,
those different F&B
you
managers
need
from
to
all the.
you need to do the same in the orchestra. You're the maestro, and you make sure that every instrument make nice sound. You need to put on different notes. Obviously, I have a culinary director, which is reporting to me. He's a great
Uh-huh.
gentleman. He's Italian from the north, and then I have also another three beverage regional director reporting to me. Obviously, again, when you implement something with 58 hotel, even though I'm an extensive travel schedule, they also need to help me, to follow up every single small, let's say, details. If you do a new menu implementation, a pickup chart, follow up, and then again, I go personally and check. But also, you need to have colleagues around. Teamwork make a dream work. So you need to have them.
Teamwork. Let me take note of that one. Teamwork. Mhm. One question I want to ask you, it's with people who don't know about F&B, they say, well, anybody can be a waiter. Okay, fair enough. But what are the skills needed to be successful, sorry, in the F&B area?
Sure. Well, definitely they need to be passionate. For me personally, I started when I was child in my family in the south of Italy. My family used to make the olive oil and vino and wines and things. So you already know how the fermentation process, how to make the oil, the fresh pasta. This is with DNA. However, regardless your nationality, if you're motivated, you really say, I want to be, an FAB, a general manager. Nowadays, knowledge is the power. You go on the net, you can download anything, but then you need to also get through your brain and go
Apply
through.
it, yeah.
Exactly. So I always say, FAB is interesting if you really love it, if you're passionate, because when you have a team and you need to do lots of training, it's extensive hours, extensive follow-up, and higher you go in terms of, hotel standards and five-star luxury,
Mhm.
higher you need to be really, really with eyes on detail and make sure that your team follow and everything is clock perfect, clockwise, and everything sharp. You cannot leave it to oh well, maybe tomorrow is not done. Guests paying quite good amount of money, they're really expecting perfection, and also empathy, emotional intelligence. So this is all about
Mhm.
food and beverage in summary. But
Yes.
again, I always say individuality. You need to really be personal and think about this is the job for me, or is the same as a chef. Yes, everybody perhaps can make an egg, but having a 50 check in front of you, make sure that you run them, well, that's a different story.
No, it's a lot of pressure, yeah, and the hours, there's
Yes,
challenging
yes,
hours as well in that
intensive, intensive,
industry.
intensive.
Mhm. So one thing I cannot avoid, sorry, asking you is about the pandemic. So everybody's talking about that. We're saying a lot of crystal balls, people guessing what's going to happen. What is your personal view?
Well, personal view is that I always say to people, use common sense. Definitely, it's somehow it's spreading around everywhere. So I always say to people, follow the rule, the guideline, wear a mask, keep a little bit of distance. That we understand each other, and it's okay, guys. If that's the rule, 9 o'clock, mainly in Europe and other country, some people try to party or to be smart. Well, easily you can infect, especially the senior people. We all have a different reaction. Some people they have it and they don't know they have it. We don't know what's the other person in front of us. I personally always use the mask, and I say to my team, wear the mask. If needed, wear a gloves in certain area, also to reassure the guest that you are taking a measure. We all safe, but prevent is better than cure. So my summary for the pandemic is, we need to at least wait for April, May for sure,
Mhm.
and then the winter need to be really, really tight.
Mhm. Okay. No, taken there. So now, going back to skills needed and what is necessary to get into that area, F&B. So you have people now studying hospitality, maybe, or some degree going to
Sure.
F&B. and they might see the future a bit, well, bleak, because of the current scenario. So what would be your advice as a senior leader for an F&B for those young generation who might be willing to go F&B, but they have their doubts now?
Well, the most important now, they have the best time to get knowledge. So now they can do an extra training. I personally, myself, I self-develop when I have a couple of hours off. I Google something, I search, I read. So what I mean with these messages to the younger generations are now get your knowledge and get, say, I want to be fine dining, I want to be a large person managing, a big group of hotel. Well, let's get me some extra skill on Excel. Let me understand better. Something that perhaps I didn't really, I brush it, rebrush it off. something that perhaps I was not really strong when I did the school or the college. Let me revisit, let me refresh it. So now is the best time. So when you go back to the market, you're strong more than ever. And then food and beverage is not only, service, is about wine, about cultures, about food, about, wedding, about events, about so many other factors. So, in the future, if you have your background, you're going to open your own restaurant. You can be, you're going to open your own bar. You can be mixologist. It's wonderful. Nowadays, all these dry ice, all these cocktail. Some people climb the mountain to get the special herbs and do a cocktail. So don't think about, this is just, a waiter or head waiter or a restaurant manager or maitre d'. There is tons of selection or variety that you can choose. The most important that you know what you wish to do, and you're motivated, and you know that you need to sacrifice in order to get the result. Not only a degree. Degree is important, is the base. Then you need to build it up. Experience.
Mm-hmm. Yep. Take a note of that. Okay. So long career you've had. Anyone that you have in mind who helped you maybe at the beginning, or who's been a guide for you, some sort of mentor or leader?
Sure.
Mm-hmm.
Absolutely. From our job, I think also in life to have a mentorship. Actually, there was a program in Four Seasons many years ago, a mentor program, that you get selected. And many years ago, one of my GM, which is not Four Seasons anymore, Matthias King, he used to be my mentor many years ago, and he gave me lots of great guideline. And obviously through life, one of my friends, the mentor is Rocco Bova. Definitely, we always, be in touch, call each other, and have a different opinion, different thought. It's always good to have a kind of a second, third thought. And why not? We're all colleagues and friends in the meantime, and can be always helpful,
Mm-hmm.
And it's very important for being humans. You need to always have, kind of feedback and suggestions.
Yeah, connection.
Regardless of your position. Yes, regardless of the position.
Oh, I don't know, question just came to mind. Sorry.
Sure.
I need to ask you, since I have you here, why do you think Italian restaurants are so popular everywhere? Because everywhere you go in the world, there's going to be an Italian restaurant. Well, why is that?
Yes.
Why everybody loves Italian food?
Well, in the old time, there was kind of a guideline in Four Seasons. I never forget the regional vice president, an Italian-Canadian gentleman. When I met him, I did a couple of opening and rebranding with Four Seasons. He said to me, every hotel we open will add one Italian restaurant. Why? Because so many ingredients, pasta, pizza, risotto, they go from when you're 4 years old up to you're 90. Technically, if you're a vegetarian, you can have a small risotto with vegetables and then gluten-free. If you have, he suits many palates and many nationality. So that's the beauty. And technically, financially speaking, the cost is very low. So, you easily can...
Ticks on the boxes, yeah.
Exactly, and your revenue goes up. If you think of a pizza, can be a gourmet pizza, absolutely. Can be a special Bottura guys making it, absolutely, no doubt. But the flour and little water and just bake it quickly, and nice basil is simple, tasty, and technically speaking, not expensive. Mm-hmm. So there's always many places they're thinking about. We also have in every hotel 90% we're Italian restaurant. Yes. People love it. Again,
that's the thing. Everybody loves it.
Mm-hmm. Yes, you always go for a pizza, for a glass of wine. It's easy dinner, and no need to get. Oh, what I get? Oh my gosh! Perhaps if I take a steak, well, it's not cooked properly. Whatever. Simple pizza, simple pasta. You not go wrong. A nice lasagna, boom! It's always there.
Mm-hmm.
So I hope I answered your question.
No, brilliant. It's all have it in mind. It's that everywhere you go, there's always going to be an Italian restaurant. Yes. It makes sense what you're saying. Yeah. Okay, so I was taking notes there. I love that sentence you said at the beginning. Open the umbrella before it starts raining. I like that one, to be always ready for whatever's going to happen. The other one you mentioned, teamwork, dreamwork. I like that one. And then the skills you mentioned. So I was taking notes. What you just mentioned about for the younger people, about the passion, to be motivated, to be knowledgeable, to have empathy and emotional intelligence would be the ones to highlight for young people to go into the F&B area.
Exactly.
And then for
Knowledge
the young
is the
ones,
power. Yes.
knowledge is power, which links to what you said about the young ones, maybe concerned about the job opportunities now. You're saying it's important to learn now, to get extra knowledge, to mix it with experience, so they improve and they have a better profile from when the things get better.
Exactly.
They're going to find a better opportunity.
Learn another language, learn Spanish, for some simple, it depends your nationality where you are. You can learn another language close to your, German, Swedish. I'm just saying, I'm not sure 100%, but perhaps for Italian, it's easy to learn Spanish and French. So why not? Even a basic, In the old time, I used to study Japanese. I was really in love with Japan. I used to be, I would say, average, but then I forget, because every language, if you don't practice.
Yeah, you don't use it, yeah.
Yeah, so it's all about, when you welcome a guest in the old language, hi, genki desu ka, or something in Japanese. Wow, so wait, I know only this. But still, it's a welcoming,
Exactly,
also
the empathy, what you were saying before. Yeah.
Exactly.
Perfect. So they were the notes that I was taking. Any last thoughts from your side?
Well, no, so far, I'm blessed that I'm working at the moment, and I'm quite busy and happy. So I'm glad that you take your time to share with this, kind of nice chat, and very happy. And Thank you so much.
No, thank you, Fabio. Hopefully whoever is going to listen to this podcast will find it very insightful, as I've done, taking notes and great ideas. Okay, so again, thank you for your time. We'll be in touch. Okay.
Thank you.
That was all for now. Hope you found it useful. Remember that you have more information on our website, www.torresconsulting.co.uk, on LinkedIn, on YouTube, and Twitter. Stay well. Goodbye for now.